Welcome. My name is Richard Fernandez, and today I invite you to join me on a journey, not through the vast, cold emptiness of space, but through the pages of a single book, a book that has shaped civilizations, inspired art, and guided the lives of billions. I'm talking, of course, about the Bible. For many of us, it's a familiar presence, a source of comfort, wisdom, or perhaps a historical artifact we think we understand. But what if I told you that within its ancient texts lie secrets and surprises, details hidden in plain sight that could fundamentally alter your perception of this monumental work? What we think we know is often just the surface of a much deeper, more complex reality. We accept stories and interpretations passed down through generations without question. Today, we will ask those questions. We will peel back the layers of assumption and dogma to uncover truths that are as startling as they are profound. This isn't about challenging faith, but about enriching our understanding, about looking at something familiar with brand new eyes. The facts we are about to explore might just shatter the bedrock of what you believe to be certain about the world's most influential book. So I ask you to keep an open mind. Let curiosity be your guide as we venture into the unexpected corners of biblical history. From the very words on the page to the stories that didn't make the final cut, we are about to embark on an exploration that promises to be as enlightening as it is astonishing. Are you ready to see the Bible as you've never seen it before? Let's begin our journey into the unknown, together. Many of us have held a Bible, perhaps an English version like the King James or the NIV. We read the words and assume a direct line to the original authors. But this is an illusion, a trick of translation. The reality is far more intricate. The Bible wasn't written in a single tongue, and certainly not in the English we speak today. It is a linguistic tapestry woven from three distinct ancient languages. The vast majority of the Old Testament, the stories of creation, of Abraham and Moses, were first recorded in Hebrew, the sacred language of the ancient Israelites, a language of profound depth and poetic power. But the story doesn't end there. As empires rose and fell, so too did the languages of the people. Pockets of the Old Testament, particularly in the books of Daniel and Ezra, were penned in Aramaic. This was the common tongue of the Near East for centuries, the very language that Jesus himself would have spoken in his daily life. Then, as we move into the New Testament, the linguistic landscape shifts again. The Gospels, the letters of Paul, the book of Revelation, all were written in Koine Greek. This wasn't the classical Greek of Plato, but the common international language of the Roman Empire, ensuring the message could travel far and wide. The Bible as we know it is a curated collection, a library of texts chosen over centuries through intense debate and theological consideration. But what if I told you there's a phantom library, a collection of books that are mentioned within the Bible's own pages, yet are completely absent from its canon? These are not Gnostic Gospels discovered in the desert sands, but books referenced by the biblical authors themselves, who treated them as known and authoritative sources. For instance, the book of Joshua and the second book of Samuel both refer to the book of Jasher, or the book of the upright. They cite it as if their readers would be familiar with it, yet this book is lost to us. Where did these books go? What knowledge did they contain? The Old Testament also mentions the book of the wars of the Lord, the annals of the kings of Israel, and the annals of the kings of Judah. These sound like detailed historical chronicles, records that would surely shed immense light on the events the Bible describes. Their absence is a mystery. It reminds us that the Bible is not just what is included, but also what is excluded. It points to a wider literary world, a vast sea of ancient texts from which the biblical canon is but a single, albeit monumental, island. In a book filled with epic poems, complex laws, and sprawling generational sagas, where does the most profound emotion lie? You might think it's in a grand declaration or a lengthy prayer, but the Bible demonstrates that sometimes the deepest meaning is found in the starkest simplicity. The shortest verse in the entire Bible, at least in most English translations, is found in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 35. It contains just 2 words: Jesus wept. 2 simple words that carry an almost unimaginable weight of theological and human significance. This isn't just a trivial fact, it's a window into the very nature of the divine as portrayed in the New Testament. In this moment, Jesus is standing before the tomb of his friend Lazarus. He is surrounded by mourning, and he, who the text claims is the Son of God, is overcome with grief. he weeps. This single act bridges the chasm between the divine and the human. It is a powerful statement that empathy, sorrow, and love are not just human frailties, but are emotions worthy of God Himself. In those two words, an entire theology of a compassionate, relatable deity is powerfully expressed. Here is a fact that, honestly, seems to defy all logic. What do you suppose is the most shoplifted book in the world? Is it like a thrilling new bestseller? Or maybe a controversial political exposé? No. Year after year, the book most often stolen from stores is actually the Bible. It's a paradox that is almost, well, poetic. The very book that contains the commandment "Thou shalt not steal" is the one most frequently taken without payment. Why would this be? The reasons are as complex and varied as human nature itself. Some theories suggest it's a matter of perceived ownership. Many people feel the Word of God should be free, that putting a price on it is inherently wrong, and so taking it isn't theft, but, liberation. For others, it's an act of desperation. Someone in a moment of deep crisis might feel a powerful, immediate need for spiritual guidance and just lack the means to purchase it. And perhaps for some, the guilt of stealing the Bible is outweighed by the hope of finding redemption within its pages. Whatever the reason, this strange phenomenon speaks volumes about the unique place the Bible holds in our culture, an object of such profound desire that people are willing to break one of its core tenets just to possess it. Imagine, just for a moment, a single story, a single message, that could be understood by almost every culture on Earth. In our fractured world, that honestly seems like an impossibility. And yet, the Bible has achieved a level of global saturation that is, well, pretty much unparalleled in human history. It is, by a staggering margin, the most translated book in the world. While, a global bestseller might see translation into 50 or even 100 languages, the Bible has just shattered that ceiling. As of today, at least one book of the Bible has been translated into over 3,000 different languages. The full text is available in more than 700. This monumental effort, often the life's work of dedicated linguists and missionaries, means that the stories of Adam and Eve, Moses, and Jesus can be read by people in their own native tongue, from the bustling cities of Asia to remote villages in the Amazon rainforest. It's a testament to the enduring power and influence of these texts. And honestly, this isn't just about spreading a religion, it's also about the preservation of language itself. For many smaller linguistic groups, the translation of the Bible was the first time their language was ever written down, creating an alphabet and preserving their unique cultural voice for posterity. The Ten Commandments. That phrase itself sounds so immutable, right? Like they were carved in stone and have stayed the same ever since. We picture 2 tablets, a definitive list of 10 divine laws. But the truth is, if you ask a Catholic, a Protestant, and a Jew to list the 10 Commandments, you might get 3 slightly different answers. While the core moral principles are the same, the way they are grouped, numbered, and even worded varies significantly between different religious traditions. What one tradition considers a single commandment, another might split into 2. For example, most Protestant traditions count the prohibition against coveting your neighbor's wife and your neighbor's goods as 2 separate commandments, the 9th and 10th. However, Catholic and Lutheran traditions group them together as a single commandment. Conversely, Catholics separate the prohibition against worshiping other gods from the prohibition against making graven images, while Protestants combine them into one. And, this isn't a modern disagreement. These differences are ancient, reflecting centuries of theological interpretation. It just goes to show that even the most foundational elements of the faith are subject to human understanding and tradition. In our fast-paced, modern world, a story from 100 years ago can feel like ancient history. Now just try to imagine a story that has been told and retold for over 3,000 years. Some of the narratives in the Bible are just that, relics of the Bronze Age, echoes from a time so distant it's honestly hard for us to even comprehend. The stories in the book of Genesis, for example, like the epic of the Great Flood, have parallels in even older Mesopotamian myths, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh. This doesn't necessarily detract from their spiritual significance. Instead, it places them within a deep, ancient stream of human storytelling. These tales have survived the collapse of empires, the burning of libraries, and the shifting sands of language and culture. They were passed down from generation to generation, first by word of mouth, and then through painstaking scribal copying. The fact that we can read these stories today, stories that were first told around campfires and in royal courts thousands of years ago, is honestly a miracle of cultural preservation. They are a direct link to the minds of our most distant ancestors, connecting our modern concerns with those timeless human questions about creation, purpose, and our place in the universe. Our journey today has taken us through the hidden corridors of a book we thought we knew. We've seen that its language is more complex, its library more expansive, and its foundational texts more varied than many of us ever imagined. We've discovered that this ancient text is still alive, capable of surprising us and challenging our assumptions. The Bible is not a static monument, but a dynamic, multifaceted entity that has evolved through history and continues to reveal new layers of meaning to those who are willing to look closely. It is a testament to the human quest for meaning, a quest that is just as relevant today as it was 3 millennia ago. These 7 facts are merely the beginning, just a few points of light in a vast constellation of knowledge. Each one opens up new avenues for exploration, new questions to be asked. The true wonder of the Bible may not lie in the answers it provides, but in the enduring questions it inspires within us. It pushes us to be historians, linguists, theologians, and philosophers. It invites us into a conversation that has been going on for thousands of years, a conversation about who we are, where we come from, and what it means to be human in this vast and mysterious cosmos. So, I turn the question to you. Of all the startling facts we've uncovered today, which one surprised you the most? Was it the phantom library of lost books, the simple power of Jesus wept, or maybe the paradox of the most stolen book? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I truly want to know what resonated with you. And if you, like me, believe that the universe is full of mind-blowing wonders just waiting to be discovered, I invite you to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. There is always more to explore, and our journey is just getting started.